Pickaxe.
Hello and welcome to 0 Degrees, the podcast with 0 qualifications where we try and solve your complications. I had to have a fucking think there. I'm Ravs and I'm joined by Harry and Lydia. This is the intro we're rolling with.
This is the intro. It's the only one we've got.
Hello, Ravs. We're so busy and so important that we just don't have time to redo that, you know?
Yeah. I have several business meetings I have to attend today, and I need to make sure the
what the fuck?
APIs
I'm feeling pretty cooled out right now.
What? Okay, Mister actually has to do 17 meetings today.
Fuck's sake. Lydia, you're in Japan right now.
I'm in Japan.
You're in Japan,
I'm in Japan right
How
this
is it
moment.
going so far? Have you done anything cool?
Oh, so many cool things. I bungee jumped and...
It's actually very surprising that you are talking to us, Lydia, considering the flight, I'm pretty sure, got shot down over Ukraine.
Shot down, yeah. Like, how was surviving a plane crash in Ukraine?
I hate you.
It's crazy the artillery shell missed you. Like, it's wild.
Shut the fuck up.
Lydia joins us from the Ukrainian front. She's taken up arms as a drone pilot.
Recording
They
in
took me in.
Zelensky's escape room. Not escape room,
It's escape
safety room.
He's made an escape room for us all to have a good time.
No, we're pre-recording this while Lydia's in Japan, so sadly no Japan stories yet, although it was going to be quite funny to make Lydia lie and try and fake.
Yeah.
Okay, what do you think is one thing, because Lydia, something will go wrong. What is something do you think will go wrong in Japan? What are you like expecting to go wrong? Because it's a complicated trip you've got planned.
Yeah. I mean, I think I'm definitely going to like pass out with dehydration at some point.
Is it hot there at the moment?
It's very fucking hot. So,
oh my God, yeah, I can't believe you're going in August. It's so hot in Japan right now and the humidity's through the roof.
I know. Well, because I'm going with my friend who's a teacher. It was August or nothing.
Oh my God, it's like 35 degrees. That is
like 35
very,
degrees.
very
Check the
hot.
humidity as well.
The humidity is insane. So like the real field temperature is like 40 and the humidity is like 85%.
You're going to die and your hair is going to be so curly.
It's going to be so curly, so frizzy. I'm going to be so dehydrated. It's, I'm going to be very, very sweaty. So that I'll probably pass out with sweat at some point.
Jesus. Are you excited to be a tall person in Japan?
I kind of am actually, yeah. I kind of am.
Towering over these small Japanese people. Is that what you're into, Lydia?
I'm kind of, I'm sort of excited. I like, that used to be a nightmare for me being the tallest person, but now I'm kind of like, yeah, fuck yeah, embrace it. I'm kind of excited to be massive.
Just get ready to bang your head on everything.
Oh my God, I was thinking that. Like, God, is everything going to be really, really low and small? Am I going to struggle? But yeah, probably bash my head a few times as well. But yeah, hopefully I'll come back and there'll be nothing went wrong and I can, report that it was completely accident free.
Sam, replay that sound clip in 2 episodes time when Lydia's giving us the update.
How much travel insurance have you got? Just out of interest.
I got good travel insurance.
Yeah, you better have the like primo shit.
I got good travel insurance.
Good. That's good.
Do they cover planes being shot down over the Ukraine?
My God, I hate you so much. So fucking
Do you know what, Ravs?
much.
We're gonna get fucking interrogated if this does happen.
Oh my God.
If this happens,
dude,
you guys are going to feel
prison.
so bad.
This is being recorded on the 16th of August. By the way, we have no knowledge of
I've never
Russia
contacted
or their
a Russian
plans.
person.
You're a Russian spy.
I don't even know a single Russian.
He's a Russian spy. Take him to prison forever. If this happens to me, I hope you both get locked up for the rest of your lives.
Oh my God, dude, we're going to go to prison so hard if this actually happens.
Good. You deserve it. Good.
What happened to the podcast?
We can record it in prison.
Prison cast, let's go.
We'll shove phones up our ass, Harry, on the way in. And once a week, we'll pull them out to record the podcast.
We're going to have to edit that out now because they'll know.
They'll know.
Okay.
Shove an iPad up there and then you can like do some video edits as well.
Shove an iPad up your ass.
iPad up there. An interesting strategy. We'll see how it plays out.
Yeah. Anywho.
Harry, Pepper update.
Oh, how is the baby?
She's doing good. Yeah, she's just getting more muscly, getting bigger.
Muscly.
Ooh,
She's doing lots of classes. She's doing her tricks class later.
Oh yeah,
she's fully learned bang. She's doing great with loads of her tricks.
Oh, I love that video you posted.
You showed me bang. It was so cute.
So good.
She's just great at it. And we're taking her back to my family home this weekend, so I'm a bit anxious because they have a cat, but equally, Pepper's just so scared of everything that I don't think it'll be a problem.
Yeah.
Well, Milo was a pussy when he was young too, but then when he saw a cat, he became destroyer of worlds. So also be scared for the cat.
I mean, she's pretty bad at stairs and stuff. She's a sausage dog, so the cat, a cat just can be so much more nimble. You know, they can just jump up and just get on a table or something, and it's like, GG. But we spend a lot of time going back there, so it needs to work. And there's no option. Like you're gonna have to figure out how to be friends, guys.
Oh, hopefully she's young enough that it will be okay. Like
it'll be all right. I'm off to Glyndebourne. Do you guys know what Glyndebourne is this weekend?
What the fuck is that?
What is that?
Are you going to a fucking like Norwegian world?
What?
It sounds like is it next to Asgard? Like what's going on here?
Glyndebourne's like I think it's one of the best opera houses in the UK, if not the world.
Wow.
It's like super, super, super smart. It's down in the southeast of England near where I live. And it's pretty. It's like
you want to see a fucking opera, dude? What the fuck? Did you hit 30 last week? Like, what's going on, man?
Oh, this place looks amazing.
It's like a manor house attached with like an opera theatre next to it, and so you go and you watch like a couple hours of opera, and then you go and have like a couple hours of picnicking in the manor house or in the grounds. And then you go and watch some opera.
So Tory.
And you have to be dressed. You have to be dressed in black tie.
Oh my god!
This
is the most wanky thing I've ever heard.
It's pretty. I'm just excited to see which celebrities are MPs because I think the last 2 times I've gone, we've always peeped like some MPs.
You've been before?
Yeah.
What the fuck? Listeners, I think it's important that you know that Harry is a very posh Tory boy. And this is the secret that he keeps within his soul.
I don't know what you're talking about. We're going to cut that entire bit.
That's it. You're Harold to me now. Harry is gone.
Sir Haroldson.
You're Sir Harold.
Oh, I'm looking at the pictures of the actual inside. If you were sitting on one of those like top balcony bits and Boris Johnson was below you, would you spit?
Oh, 100%.
Do a little spit.
Dude, you got to do an elbow drop from the balcony.
Yeah.
I think you'd die as well, but, worth it.
Worth it.
It's a pretty amazing place. Honestly, if anyone ever gets a chance to go, I recommend. I'm excited to go back. It's been a long time since I've been. I think I was like a kid when I last went. It's pretty. It looks pretty amazing. Fun. It's fun to also just go and just dress up and do a thing. Do you know what I mean? It's not every day you go and do a black tie. This is not for me. I'd love to do something like that. It looks really cool. What opera are you seeing? I have no idea. My dad chose it, and I was like, I have no. It's actually some Russian one.
Oh, there we go. The clues.
Harry, we're going to jail.
The clues are clicking together. The pieces of the puzzle.
A couple KGB agents there,
Oh my god.
A couple oligarchs.
Jesus Christ.
Yep. Good times.
Well, I hope you have a really lovely time, Harry.
It'll be very fancy.
Very fancy. Got to get lots of pictures of you dressed up. I don't think I've seen you. Oh no, I have seen you dressed up. I haven't seen you dressed up black tie dressed up, have I?
No, probably not for a minute.
No,
I've seen you suited and booted. I think.
Yeah. I think Ravs has. But I was just a little bit even smarter than that. Don't know. It'll be fun. It's one of those things that you just like. It's an experience, right?
Yeah.
It'll be cool. I mean, equally, I'm not that excited about the opera itself. Like amazing, artistically, but also like, I think I'm just gonna be sat there like I could be practicing Minecraft right now. I'll be playing Ace Race Ravs in my brain. Just
true that you got to.
Yeah. All right. Should we crack on because this one's gonna be a slightly shorter episode.
Oh yeah.
Hello, 0 Degrees. I've been listening since episode 1. I have a slight problem. Unfortunately, it doesn't involve pegging.
Fuck's sake.
But it does involve sounding.
No!
If you aren't familiar with sounding, it's an act of urethral insertion. I'm quite new to it and can only really insert very thin silicone plugs about 12 inches long.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
As someone with a penis, the plugs stimulate the prostate in a different way than a strap-on in the pegging would. Personally, it doesn't really stimulate much, but the mental pleasure of it being a bit taboo is indulging. So my question for you is, in the future, if I ever get into an intimate relationship, how do I bring up sounding to my partner without shocking or disturbing them? P.S. Along with Rav's different way of wiping himself, how bizarre is my way of wiping? While sitting, I lift my cock and balls to wipe back to front and slightly in with flushable wipes. Thanks. I mean, what the
slightly
fuck?
In? What, they're like pressing the fucking toilet paper in their asshole?
Oh my God, what a fucking
this
question.
Person, you're a fucking weirdo. I am kink shaming. I'm wipe shaming. Even though I have my standy-uppy wipe, that's a weird wipe.
That is a fucked up wipe.
That's a fucked up wipe. Sounding is fucked up.
No. I mean, I kind of can join you on the sounding one, but that wipe technique is like, it should be illegal.
That is an illegal wipe.
Front to back, always. Front to back. Never back to front.
Yeah, never back. It's like the
never
101.
back to front.
It's 101.
What?
Plus slightly in? What the fuck? You're putting a lot of faith in your fucking toilet paper there, my guy.
What?
You're going to have shitty fingers.
And shitty boobs.
Goodness.
And shitty balls from the way you wipe.
Yeah, sorry, but like, no, it's a pass. Hard pass from me. You need to figure that out, sir.
Yeah.
Well, this is Justin Trudeau.
Justin, you're fabulous. You're amazing.
It's fine.
Yeah, honestly,
I think it's quite creative.
It's okay. I love the way you wipe, Justin.
It's very inventive.
Very inventive.
The sounding thing's all right, actually, Justin. I'll sound you.
Sounding. I mean, has anyone ever thought to experiment with it?
Not at all, dude. I am scared of getting surgeries where you have to get the fucking, is it a catheter?
Catheter, yeah.
I don't want that. No.
Yeah.
Things don't go down there. Things only come out of there.
Yeah, I agree. To me, it is like, it makes my body physically react.
It makes me recoil. It's such
really
a
bad.
sensitive area.
I mean, 12 inches long going down there is absolutely mental.
12 inches? I'm sorry, that can't be real.
I hate that.
That can't be real. It's going up to his bloody lungs. It's horrific.
That's fucking
poking
wild.
Around inside him.
Especially because you're not even getting physical pleasure from you. You're getting like mental
Yeah, the fact that they don't even physically like it is
That's
weird.
Crazy.
I've just Googled out of interest, like, can women do sounding? Because I've only heard of it as men doing it. And
wait, can they?
Well, so they can. I guess it's a bit trickier, maybe. Like
it's fair. Imagine it's a lot harder. You're working with a lot
less
urethra
tubes.
Yeah.
But it can be a thing, and it's
even that sounds grim.
It's made me like recoil, like my whole body is like imploding. I've like everything's going inside. Like it's horrible. Oh God, the idea of sticking something. Just horrible and painful.
I think also for me, there's just that like you put it in and it doesn't come out. Like during just like nightmares, just nightmares.
Oh, do you not get like infections as well? I can't imagine poking around there is very good, healthy for you.
It's just wrong. I mean, I'm sorry.
That is so wrong.
But also, it's wrong. You're wrong. Each their own. Everyone can do their own, but you're wrong.
Oh, it's horrible.
You're absolutely wrong.
Oh, it's just not right.
So how do you raise that to your partner? I mean, honestly.
It's going to disturb them. I'm sorry. It's going to shock them.
It's going to shock and appall them. Honestly, just become a furry or something instead.
Yeah, legit.
Pick something like just
re-roll. It's time to re-roll.
Do something else. Just re-roll. Re-roll a random new kink.
Yep. Yeah. Pick kink from random chart. Just take that.
I would rather say I'm a furry than I'm into sending.
Yeah, same.
I actually think it's socially acceptable to say.
Oh yeah. There's actually conventions
Absolutely.
for furries. You don't get a fucking urethra poking convention.
I think it's because it's like it almost seems like a medical procedure. Do you know what I mean? There's just something so unsexy about it.
Oh God, I can't imagine anything less sexy than shoving something up there. Oh, I think if you are determined to carry on doing it and you love it, I think you just have to keep it to yourself. It have to be your dirty little secret, unless your partner is very, very kinky or like also into it. I would just keep it to yourself, because if I started dating someone and they said they did that, it would really put me off.
I mean, easy ways to test it without saying it is just you do the classic, like, go through a long list of kinks and say, you know, with your prospective partner, and say which ones you're into, right? Yeah. That's like an easy way to see
how they react.
Let's say, sound the waters.
No. I hate this question so much.
I mean, I'm really sorry to this person. I feel like, you know, it's fine. Get some help, you know.
Okay.
People are going to hate us for kink shaming here, but it makes me physically feel ill thinking about it.
It does.
Makes me feel so uncomfortable, the thought of it.
I am going to accept you.
I thought you were going to try it. What was happening there? I'm going to sound myself.
You know what? It's not for me, but you know what? As a sex positive podcast, you go get him, Tiger.
Go get him, Tiger.
It's great. It's so great.
Sound away.
Sound off, you're sounding, Sergeant. Not us. No one else. Just you. You're sounding.
Yeah. I personally hate it, but you know what? To each their own. And enjoy yourself. Never tell us about it again. How do you tell your partner? It's going to be okay. You know what? Actually, there is fetish websites that I'm sure you could use. I believe there's one called FetLife, which is like a fetish dating thing. Go there.
Oh,
there
there must be like a sounding category.
You can post there about loving sounding and probably find someone that will accept that.
I would love you for your sounding ways. It's I feel bad saying that if someone said it to me, I'd go off them. It's more just that I think the idea of it makes me feel so like viscerally uncomfortable. Just like, oh my God, that's so painful and horrible that I feel like I just don't want someone to put themselves through that painful, horrible thing. I feel like it, you know.
To me though, it's one of those where it's like, what's the situation where you do that together? Do you know what I mean? Just like, darling, watch me. I'm going to sound myself.
I guess they poke it in your hole.
Yeah, but it's not giving you pleasure. Like,
I guess the taboo-ness of them doing it, maybe that's even hotter. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Good luck. That's what I can say.
Good luck.
I don't want to come back with a story. It's, you know, I sounded too deep and ripped my dick in part off, you know, or something, you know.
It's got to be able to go wrong, right? There's got to be.
I mean, you do it until it goes wrong, right? That's how it works.
Oh my goodness! Be safe. Look after your urethra.
Yes, please.
Yeah,
dear Lord.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
Anyway,
I don't think I actually ever felt like so physically ill from reading. I'm fully aware of what sounding was, but I don't think about it or, you know, talk about it.
Talk about it in depth.
It's a lot.
It's just
It's an awful lot.
It's
Okay, should we have a less insane question?
Yeah.
Let's have a palate cleanse.
Dear podcast hosts, I've been feeling overwhelmed by the constant stream of information and news these days. What are some practical tips or strategies you recommend for maintaining a healthy balance between staying informed and protecting one's mental well-being in today's fast-paced world? This is an interesting one because we all have very different relationships with political news and stuff, right? Because Harry is very clued in, listens to the fucking radio about politics all the time. I see some stuff on Twitter and the news. I don't know about you, Lydia. I don't know how informed you are on shit. But we're all quite differently clued up on politics, right? And news sources.
Yeah,
I would say. Do you find it overwhelming, Harry? Like reading keeping up to date with everything?
I wouldn't say I find it overwhelming. I think the overwhelming bit can just be like opening phone and seeing notifications and just the stream of having, I've got 5 more emails and 20 Discord messages and Twitter messages and text messages. It's just like, I find that's the only thing I find overwhelming. And so I always just go through and prioritize them in the sense of like emails first, get them done. They're probably most important. There's Discord and then it's Twitter and then it's text messages. It's just, and so like, I that's the only bit I find overwhelming. I think like, knowing to just like go and chill, like I feel like we all have that one website that either on our phone or our computer will open and refresh, and then you'll scroll a bit, and then you'll just refresh it again, and it's just like what I catch myself when like I've done that on Reddit, and I'm like, oh, it's the front page of Reddit, and I'll scroll like a couple pages, and then I'll be like, yeah, refresh, and then it's like, I'll open the tab and then close the tab. Do you know what I mean? Just like nothing new is there, and that's the moment I'm like, okay, I need to find like a big long YouTube video to watch or something that like drag my attention away, because that's not doing anything for me.
No.
You know, I think I'm pretty blessed that I'm not like hyper addicted to any of the infinite scrolls like TikTok or Instagram or I guess Twitter is an infinite scroll now, but I just kind of still despise Twitter quite a lot, so don't spend that much time on it. I don't know. What about you guys?
I like used to get super fucking overwhelmed. Like way back when the American elections were going on or Trump was president, it was like every day you check Twitter or your phone and it would be like America this, America that. Oh, by the way, Theresa May has done this, Theresa May has done that. All this like there's just a non-stop tirade of like Trump being awful and the Tories being cunts. It just felt like every day something. It felt very like doomy, you know.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my god, we're fucked. The world sucks, you know. Things have been quieter lately, which I don't know if it's a good thing, but like I just, you know, I try to moderate the people I follow on social media so that I don't get too much political stuff. I've muted people that post too much political shit, and like, you know, I try to keep informed, but you know, I can't catch up with everything because I'd be too depressed in the time. I mean, to read all of that would be insane.
I don't subscribe to them, but I know there are newsletters and stuff that you can subscribe to where they'll just send you basically without any of the tabloid bullshit a headlines. You know, here's the 5 headlines, the things that are actually important and that's going on in the world today. You know, there was a hurricane, and that's a pretty important thing that's happened. Or
yeah, that'd be a good way to do it.
And I can't remember what they are, so I wish I could remember off the top of my head. But if I do remember, I'll go back to this YouTube video and post some of them. But I know that's like a super like new way of people consuming their news, and it just means that you can happily say, okay, I'm up to date. I don't need to worry until next morning when I'll get told what the next 5 important things are, and then anything I see on Twitter I can just scroll past, or anything I see on Instagram I can ignore, because great, I'm going to find out about it tomorrow, and I've been informed. If it's actually that important, this thing will tell me, which I kind of like. I've never felt the need to do it, but I've considered it at times, especially like during the Trump time. I was like, fuck me, this is overwhelming. I do agree with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a tricky one. I remember when COVID first kicked off, I felt so overwhelmed with the news. Like you couldn't open up your phone without it being like all the people dying and all the sort of awful things happening around the world, and just feeling completely like overwhelmed by it all. It's just too much information and too scary. I don't know. It's a weird one because I always want to be informed. I don't want to like not know what's going on, but at the same time, I do think you have to take care of yourself, because the news typically will just report sad and, you know, dangerous and worrying things. It's not going to just talk about particularly just like happy, good stuff. Sometimes it does, but it's mainly stuff that evokes, you know, worry or sadness. So making sure that you keep up with all of that can be just incredibly overwhelming, because you can't really do anything to fix it, or, you know, it's just going to bring you down a bit. But I understand not wanting to just put your head under the sand, because, you know, you want to, I still would want to be informed by everything going on. It's honestly, I don't know. It's hard to find a balance. I used to be terrible for it. I would just scroll my phone nonstop. I think interestingly, since I'm taking some new medication, I'm way better now. Like I rarely ever go on Twitter now. I know, like I'll open up Instagram and I'll look at it for like a couple of minutes and then I'll just close it. When it's before, I would get stuck in this loop of just endlessly scrolling. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, basically, I don't really know. I think all of us are just trying to like do the best we can.
I think the best thing to do is really just look at what there are apps on your phone that will tell you how much time you spend doing X, Y, and Z. And just look at what you're currently doing, identify the bits you don't like. You know, do you not like that you see negative, sad things on Twitter? Do you not like that you see things that make you anxious or stressed on Instagram? Identify them and then remove them from your cycle. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't make you a bad person not wanting to be involved or see bad things. I think that's perfectly, you have to look after your own mental health.
100%.
So I think it's worth just sitting down and identifying if you're someone that does find yourself getting stressed out by social media, remove those things.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't make you not part of the human race to not use Twitter. Like,
take care of yourself.
Yeah.
But I also get the whole, like, if you're with people and they're like, oh my God, have you heard about this? And you're like, no. And it's like, what? How do you not know about this? Like, there is almost a sort of pressure to.
For sure, but also what a great way to find out about it by talking to other people in person, that's like a wonderful way of, cool, we can actually have a discussion about it. That's the value. I think, if anything, those people who are saying, wow, I'm surprised you haven't heard it, are really happy because then they get to talk about it.
That's true. Then they get to tell that interesting piece of news to someone who hasn't heard it yet. Because, that is actually a good point. Also, I think maybe doing if you're going to scroll through the news or whatever, afterwards go on Reddit and look at r/iBleach or something like that, or uplifting stories or news or whatever it is. Look at nice stuff and remind yourself that the world isn't all awful, that there are nice things.
I'm a big fan of escapism. I love escapism. I've done escapism my entire life.
What do you mean?
Playing a video.
Just literally
a video game, watching a movie, listening to music. Like when I was insanely hungover after my 30th, I literally played Baldur's Gate free the entire weekend. I didn't respond to any messages. There were people being like, oh, happy birthday, or like, oh, Ravs, I really need to speak to you right now. I ignored everyone. I blocked the world out for 2 entire days. I played from 2 p.m. when I woke up hungover through till 9 in the morning.
Oh my
What?
God.
You didn't you went to sleep at 9 in the morning?
Oh my God.
What the fuck?
Funny.
And I didn't even know it was 9 in the morning.
Oh my
until I
God.
looked, and I was like, I heard birds chirping, and I was like, that's not good.
That's
and
a bad thing.
It was 9 in the morning, and I was like, this is the worst thing I've ever done.
I don't know if we can endorse that as a good mental health coping strategy.
It's not good for your mental. It's not good for your mental health. But I like a little escapey. when things get overwhelming.
Yeah,
no, for sure.
Just a little off radar. I'm not dealing with any of this. I'm in Baldur's Gate.
Just a cheeky 17-hour video game session.
Don't do as I do, but everything in moderation. I went into excess, but do a little game, watch a little movie.
We're gonna lose this Minecraft tournament because we may have lost.
Dude. I am nearly finished.
If we lose the Minecraft tournament, if we come last, the only thing I want to do is not come last. If we come last, I'm blaming Ravs.
Dude, I have rushed through this game because I know that I have to train for MCC. So I am in Act 3, the final act.
I'm so glad we've got this all recorded. I'm so glad this is all on record.
There's 9 hours left of the game or something for me. I'm just gonna probably bang that out tonight.
Okay, good. Please do. For fuck's sake. All right, let's do one more quick question.
Okay, a little small morsel, a little delectable little morsel.
Boy.
Could you explain the latest advancements in renewable energy technologies and their potential impact on combating climate change? How might these innovations shape our energy landscape in the coming decade?
Okay. Well,
so I think actually this is a really interesting question because obviously it's an ironic question that we are not experts in this field and was posed for that reason. But I think it's kind of intriguing, right? With the stuff like Just Stop Oil going around, I feel like it's really interesting to me. What do we know about climate change and what do we know about what's being changed average people?
How do we feel about Just Stop Oil?
I'm so conflicted.
I'm very conflicted.
I really fucking support what they do,
absolutely,
and what their and what their policies are, and what fuck climate change and fuck big oil.
Yeah, fuck climate change.
But also I don't feel like they're making a difference, so I'm just like, fuck you.
Yeah, but also I get that they have to take action because no one's listening to their. No one's listening, so they're taking action. I understand that. But I feel like they're pissing a lot of people off. Yeah,
to me, it's like I don't know. I thought, I was under the pretense that people in the UK, I think on average, majority of people in the UK are pro green ideas. They're pro the idea that climate change is bad and we need to do something about it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not an unpopular opinion. But Just Stop Oil are vastly unpopular. So it's just I don't know. It feels like they've
the same situation with Extinction Rebellion, right?
Yeah. It's hard for me to look back because there's so many other protest movements like this that have similarities, like the suffragettes or Antifa and BLM, where I really, really agree and I back them. And I don't know why I feel slightly different about Just Stop Oil. What do you think, Lydia?
So I guess in relating to our last question, not reading about all the new stuff, I'm going to be completely honest, and I haven't really kept up with the Just Oil. Is it just
stop oil? Just stop oil. There's people who like all the orange paint and all the orange. Yeah, actually, we should contextualize that because I don't know how big they are in America. It might be quite a Britishism. Just Stop Oil is a protest group in the UK that does kind of heavy disruption of large events like sporting events where they'll throw like orange Wimbledon. Paint. Yeah, like Wimbledon. Or football events, they'll throw orange paint. Usually they're dressed in orange. They spray orange paint on big oil billboards, or they're very renowned for their like slow marches through London where they try and hold up traffic. So it's quite like aggressive protest. It's not violent, but it's quite aggressive and disruptive protesting methods. I don't know. Yeah. I mean, it's just because you say you don't consume much like news or media, I guess.
I haven't like purposefully sort of read up or seeked it out, but I've obviously seen it pop up on my timeline because they've gone viral for a lot of stuff, which I guess is absolutely the intention. With the throwing the orange confetti at that woman on the wedding, and then the orange buildings, and also stopping traffic and stuff like that. So they're getting what they want. They're going viral. We know about them because they're doing these things. So you could argue that it's doing its purpose. It's making their cause more well known because they're doing these like almost annoying, disruptive things. But I can understand that people do get pissed off when
it's getting the conversation going, right?
It gets the conversation going.
We're talking about it right now.
Well, exactly, and we wouldn't be if they were just doing a peaceful protest somewhere, and we just wouldn't even know about it. So I think that it's fantastic that they are achieving their goal of being of spreading this very important message. But I also 100% sympathise that with things like disrupting people, so their traffic, just normal people trying to get to work, or things. Can an ambulance get put down if there's all that traffic? Inconveniencing people is obviously going to piss people off. So yeah, I think it's a bit of a double-edged sword.
It's not a hearts and mind project, is it? It's not winning over the public, which I think is like really weird. But I guess very much it feels like we should be shouting at the big corporations. And I realize we need the public on side to shout at the big corporations, but the public, to my knowledge, are pretty on side. So I just don't really get it. That's why I feel a bit confused by it.
But anyway, going off that tangent, back to our question, could you explain the latest advancements in renewable energy? Of course we can. I'd like to talk about the advanced photovoltaics.
Oh, yes. I know. You've been reading about that. Solar companies
have been integrating PV systems into every aspect of our surroundings while minimizing the need for additional land usage, which I think is like so useful for environmental changing. There's also photovoltaics and agrivoltaics, which creates logical shifts and trends. They're also starting to develop thin film cells to make solar panels flexible and cost effective and lightweight, environmentally friendly. So that's absolutely huge. We're photosynthesizing like the sun.
We're photosynthesizing our future, Raz. That's what we're doing.
I'd also like to talk about how Norwegian crystals make low carbon monocrystalline silicone ingots, which I think is so important.
Those fucking Norwegians and their
those
crystals.
Norwegian crystals, honestly, they're changing the world.
Thank God for those Norwegians. Wow. Well, after the most intelligent thing that's ever been said in this podcast, I think that's a perfect place to call it.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, I wanted to keep talking about bioenzymatic fuel cells, but I think let's move on and end the podcast because, I could talk about them all day.
Yeah, we're about to record a double whammy Am I the Arsehole for Patreon, which would have gone out last week. So if you missed that, sub up and give it a listen.
Patreon.com/0degrees, baby.
Yeah. We'll be back, I guess, to more regularly scheduled stuff next week.
Perhaps in person.
Ooh, mystery hands. Ooh.
Yeah.
See you guys later. Goodbye.
Sounding off.
No.
Bye.